What's going on, everybody? Wake up, legendary. Dave should be waking up legendary this morning. And I am, my friends. I am waking up right along with you here this morning. And I'm going to be waking up most likely along with our guest. Actually, I just talked to her and she looks pretty bright eyed and bushy tailed. So, Anna, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey Dave, thank you so much for having me. I'm good. How are you?
You're so welcome. I'm fantastic. So we're going to talk today with you about using Instagram to build your personal brand, amongst other things. But first, tell us how you got here and what you were looking to get out of Legendary when you first started here.
Okay, basically I'm with Legendary for I'd say a long time already because it's been 2 years. I didn't even
Wow.
know this. Yes, it's been 2 years. So I got started in January 2021, and that happened when I was moving from one European country to another, and it was during the COVID times, and I lost my job. So when I moved to Norway, I was looking for some ways to earn money. And since I had like lost money on my bank account, and I started thinking about online marketing because I was always into like marketing since university. And basically, yeah, I was scrolling on TikTok and I found a guy that was talking about affiliate marketing. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And basically, I just took an action right away and I rolled in and I knew it like, okay, well, I have nothing to this. I'm just going to make this work. So I finished the challenge and I started right away and I'm already 2 years with you. Yay.
Wow. That's incredible. And so are you doing digital marketing and doing this full time now?
Full time for 2 years since that very moment. I've never done it, a single minute of 9 to 5.
How's that feel?
Oh, that is That is just amazing. It still gets to me. I still don't realize that it is my life, and this has been my life for 2 years, all thanks to that one tiny, tiny action.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow. So, what would you say, or what do you say on a regular basis to people who, um, as you said in your questionnaire, you basically, and I think you probably did even just now, bursted people's bubbles about what's possible with digital marketing. What's possible even here with Legendary. I mean, people think small, and you're now here 2 years into this and proving them wrong every single day.
well, basically, it's not only just about the income stream. It's about the fact when you start this, you open up your mind and life to some things like realizing that there are no limits online. And you start with the digital marketing and you start seeing with the time so many more options. So it's not just affiliate marketing, it's not just this or selling digital products, there's just so many ways. And the thing is that yeah, once you get started, you open these possibilities to yourself. And basically talking about bursting bubbles is just people don't realize that yeah, it's only one action, and after that you can literally just find what is it that you like, or figure out what is it that you like and just figure out a way to monetize it, and technically be yeah, be working with something that you genuinely love, and that's it. Then you're not, it's just no way back.
Yeah, and you're right. You can find something that you love. You can find a product or a niche that you're passionate about. You don't have to just work and make money online. You don't have to work in the parenting niche. You don't have to work in the weight loss niche. You can work in whatever niche you want with whatever product and service you want, and you can do it with as many as you want, which is kind of like, gee whiz, you know, it's like you finally can have multiple partners here,
Yes.
people, but it's with products, right? Not people. But there's no limitations, right? In other words, you're not married to one single product. You can find something and keep testing things and keep trying things until you either find something that works, you find multiple things that work, and it's kind of like a dream come true. I think people think small minded and narrow minded, like you can only promote this one thing or that one thing. How did you, or what would you say to people about the the amount of different products and opportunities that there are online once you learn these skills.
Basically, this is actually one of the biggest mistakes, and this is what I keep telling to all the people that come to me, that they have to, scratch that vision that they have. It's just about like, yeah, you go into one product or one program, then you just do that forever, or just the only way to go is like this affiliate program and this, and they don't realize that literally it can be connected to anything. So yeah, basically that's the beauty of it, and that's why I always keep telling, and that was my mistake partly too when I started, because I don't like trying new things. So I just found this and I'm like, okay, this is, I have to go this way or otherwise I'm gonna die. And like, yeah. So basically that's why I keep telling to new people too.
Yeah. These are transferable skills that, can really, it's amazing because people literally, and we even have had this happen here in Legendary, where people will come and learn the skills here at Legendary, and then they'll go and start promoting competitors' products and then start talking badly about Legendary. And it's like, well, you learn the skills here at Legendary. You know
That
what I mean?
is,
You learn the skills here at Legendary. These skills can be used in the same niche, right? Or it can be, and the reason why the people do that doesn't happen often, by the way. It's just something that is kind of funny because people don't even realize where they learn the skills from. It's like, well, you didn't learn anything before you came here. You didn't know anything, and then you came here, and now, wow, you got skills. We didn't ask you to get married to us. That you can use these skills to promote any product or service. You can use the skills to promote a competitor's product. You can use these skills to promote products in different niches, different, have you considered what niches and what kinds of different products have you promoted over the past 2 years? Exclusively things in the make money online niche, Legendary, other things? How many different products and services have you promoted?
well, I've been affiliated with only like three niches altogether. I think it was like beauty, fashion, and making money online.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
The one that I think was the most profitable for me and actually the most interesting to work with was still making money online. So yeah, I tried like fashion affiliate programs and I tried beauty affiliate programs and they worked fine, but I wouldn't say I enjoyed it much. But everything connected to making money online, like softwares and helping people, I love that more. So I always stuck with that. And I have a couple of affiliate programs in this area and like three basically right now. And yeah, Legendary is still one of them and will be one of them forever, I guess.
You make a great point. You make a great point, Anna, is that so you've tried products in fashion and you say, and what else? What was the other one?
Beauty.
Beauty. Bella, beauty. So you've tried products in these other niches. Awesome. And you found that even though you probably love fashion and even though you are beautiful, you prefer to work in the make money online niche, right? Why? Because people buy more stuff in that niche most often, and you probably have made more money in that niche. Is that right?
Yes, it was the most profitable one.
Yeah, so sometimes you have to go where the money is. You know what I mean? Sometimes, folks, sometimes you'll test products in multiple niches. And a lot of times, the people that you've seen here inside of our community, Anna, you're a great example, have tested different products in different niches. And they may be working in their current niche because that's the niche that they found was the most profitable, or that was the niche that they
Yeah.
felt most comfortable talking about content, talking about things, principles. How do you come up with content ideas? Let's talk a little bit about that. How have you over the last 2 years improved your content and your basically your ability to make videos? How have you gotten more comfortable in front of the camera, and how has that evolved over the past 2 years?
Basically, as cheesy as it sounds, practice makes it better. Yeah, okay, it doesn't make it perfect. I don't believe in that, but it does make it better. So the more you post, the more you try, the better you get, the more comfortable you get, the less you're afraid. and stuff like that. So out of the idea generation, basically I just write down like ideas for my videos randomly when I have those, and when I'm out of ideas or I have my scheduling days, or I'm preparing for some kind of trip and I know that I want to have everything scheduled in advance, I uh, I do a little research from TikTok. Basically, you just scroll out and you just take some ideas and then you just recreate them. Or I use also, most likely a lot of people mentioned it, answerthepublic.com. A very
About
good way.
what? Say that one more time.
Answerthepublic.com.
Oh, answerthepublic.com. I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of it? Yeah. Oh no, this is like a very good way to figure out what, let's just say, topics are in demand right now, or in some
Yeah.
certain niche in demand. And yeah, they get you like basically just you get tons of video ideas if you like Google, I don't know, affiliate marketing, or like I don't know, software or whatever that is.
I like that.
So yeah,
I like that. I like that.
yeah,
So you're able to so you've been generating different ideas and getting different kind of in answering questions from there, getting content ideas from there, just kind of using what are people
yes,
asking, what are people looking
yes,
for,
yes,
just doing basic research on answerthepublic.com.
yes, yes. And it's like, I know, right?
Throw my hat here. I can't even. I can't. This girl's over here using critical thinking skills. Holy smoke, honey, you wouldn't believe it.
Why not?
Well, I'm just saying, people using critical thinking skills. It's an unbelievable thing.
That's all women.
She's ready to stick up for a woman every and any minute, and I don't blame her. But man, wow, that's amazing. That look, sometimes it's just the simple things, isn't it, Anna? Where you get all this information, it's just a simple little source.
I know,
Sometimes the
right?
best place to do research is right in your comments or the comment section of your competitors, right? Or
Oh,
other
by the way,
people in the
yes.
same niche. It's just go there and look at what people are saying. If you're brand new and you have no content and you're wondering about content ideas and you want to come up with the most precise, most powerful, right to the point topics that you can create videos on, go look at other people who are successful in your niche and look at the comment section. Most likely they're not paying attention to their comment section and looking what people are saying, complaining about, asking questions about. And if you start creating content about that, guaranteed it's going to hit the nail on the head. What were you going to say about that?
Basically, that's actually this one is something that I was using as well. You can literally find someone who is in your particular niche, and then just go find a single viral video and go into their comments. And the comment section is gonna have like, I don't know, 1K comments, and you're gonna have like 10 to 20 content ideas just like that. That's yeah. So basically, what you said, that's genius.
The other thing is nowadays these dadgum artificial intelligence things.
Yes.
I mean, get the hell out of here. These things will give you 50 content ideas in 5 seconds and they never get tired.
Yeah, and I have so many content ideas that I literally stopped writing them down because I have so many that I just yes, that's thanks to
Stop writing them down. And you know what? Some people can't come up with an idea if their life depended on it. A content idea. And that's just here's the point. It's not that if you can't come up with an idea, there's something wrong with you. But listen, once you open the dadgum floodgates, my friends, the ideas will probably come pouring out. But you need to get some damn WD-40 up in that brain and get that thing loosened up, because it's probably been taking orders and getting ideas from a boss for the past 2 decades. And you need to get some oil in that thing and get that thing thinking for itself. Wouldn't you agree, Anna?
yes.
Man, so we got to
I
get
love
some
this, yes.
WD-40 in these brains and get these things warmed up. An old brain, sometimes I think some of our friends come in here to our community and it's starting up, getting them thinking's like starting up an old motor. It's like, it's spitting out, rust and dust and smoke and everything else. But you know what? That's the only way And you know what we act as here at Legendary is your mechanics, helping you tweak, helping you tune, helping you learn how to be a better driver. You don't need a different brain. You just need to get some damn WD-40 in your existing brain and get that thing thinking.
Yes. And this is one of the things that I love about our community here. This is it. Yes, yes. Because like you could just post one question and have so many opinions from so many different people, and basically every time it's just pure gold. You just enter the comment section, you just see everything from different point of views and different perspectives, and you just bam, that's it. Problem solved, whatever that is. So yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, look, if you can't come up with the idea, there's no excuse, because you can either ask the community, you can go ask Google if you want to be so 2022, or go ask Chat GPT or one of these other artificial intelligence aliens if you want to be here in the 2023s, because one of those 3 places or 4 places, your own brain, Google, the community, or artificial intelligence, if you can't come up with a video idea or 10 from those 4 places, you ain't trying.
Yes. Yes.
You don't want it. You don't want to
Yeah.
find anything.
This is my actual trigger for this. Like when I hear people saying this, I'm like, yeah, well, that's on you. If that's how it is for you, that's on you in 2023.
If that's how it is, that's on you. Right. I mean, we're not here to save people. We're in the business of selling information, right? It's like a school. We're the modern day 2023 university, 63rd fastest growing company privately held in America last year. For God's sakes, this is what 2023 is, when the high school dropout can have the education company. But the professor, the enrollment instructor, the dean of the college can't lose sleep if every single student comes through and says, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. But then there's a group of students who are crushing it. The dean is going to say, well, you know what? Unfortunately, we're all adults here at this point now in college. We're all at least 18 years old. And part of this is on you. Just like you said, that's on you. That's unfortunate. You need to take that up with your parents. You need to take that up with yourself, right? Because you're an adult now, and it's time to take responsibility. It's time to take responsibility. We can no longer blame ourselves or others about our past. We got to take responsibility for it right now. And there's a decision everywhere in life. The people who take initiative are going to get attention. They're going to get, and that's usually all it takes, is just trying. The people who try, the people who take an initiative, who practice, as you said, are going to get better, because that's also the people who the professor and the dean and everybody else wants to help. Nobody can go to somebody's dorm and drag them out in front of the video games and say, come get a degree, the same way that we can't do that now, even more so now, because what they do in college is train you to get a job. We're training you to be a business owner. We're training you to be entrepreneurs here, which means that I absolutely can't come and drag you out in front of the TV or the video games or whatever. And we've got so many tools that can help you with your mindset. But ultimately, it's really just about, you know what it's about? And I'm going to just say it. You know what it's about? It's about faking it until you make it. It's about acting as if. It's about acting yourself into a new way of thinking instead of thinking yourself into a new way of acting. You're never going to sit in your house and go, I'm a 6-figure producer. I'm a 6-figure producer. The same way that I'm not going to sit in my house and go, there's no weeds in my yard. There's no weeds in my yard. There's no weeds in my yard. Right? I'm not going to do that. But what I can do is a combination of positive, powerful affirmations and only talking powerfully about myself. It does start with what you say. And if you're sitting here putting yourself down saying, I can't come up with an idea, you know what your brain hears?
You can't come up with an idea.
That's it. That's it. In your brain it's your body and your brain. It's not, I mean, mine's not that smart. Yours might be. If it hears me say, repeating over and over again, I can't do something, guess what my body starts to believe? It can't do it. So part of it is about saying you can do it and saying, believing in yourself, even if you don't believe in yourself yet, saying, at least not talking down to yourself. And I see this as another 2 words that I want people to eliminate from their vocabulary. I'm struggling. Look, you're addicted
I've
to struggle. You're addicted to struggle. You can struggle down the road. Right now, you need to learn how to conquer. Instead of saying I'm struggling, reframe it. I'm overcoming. It's taken some time, but I'm overcoming this. It's so simple, but it's so powerful. And then guess what? After you say that, you follow it up with some action. And then you act yourself into a new way of thinking. Where did I come up with this? Did I sit through psychology classes and all this shit? Nope. You know, my wife did, though. She's got a degree in psychology. She's a lot smarter than I am. But guess where I learned this at? I learned this getting clean from heroin. Oh, shit. We're going to talk about some real life stuff now. Yes, it's true. That's when I learned it, because I couldn't get clean 14 years ago. I kept relapsing over and over again because I thought that I could think my way out of it. I thought that I was smart enough to think myself out of it. I can think myself through this. And my brain was broken, right? I was struggling. I was this until somebody said, Dave, you can never think your way out of this problem. You have to act. You need to change your thinking, but you can't change your thinking by thinking. Your best thinking got you here.
Mhm.
Your best thinking got you right where you're at. You need to act yourself into a new way of thinking. And so those of you who are out here who, remember we were talking about coming up with video ideas. That's how I got on this rant, and how you've been using critical thinking skills. If you keep telling yourself you're struggling, if you keep talking about how few viewers you have, if you keep focusing on that, where you focus your attention is where your results will go. And so if you focus on the struggle, if you focus on how few you have, see, what I've always done in my videos is talked about what was coming, what I'm creating. How many people are gonna watch this? How many people have already watched this potentially by the time that you're seeing this? See, none of that is about how much I'm struggling. None of that is about how few views I have. None of that is about how little I have or how little I've done. That's about what I'm doing. That's about my vision. That's about my excitement. That's about my confidence level. And that's about talking about what I am or am about to do. And most importantly, what this is going to do for the person. This is unlike anything that you've ever seen before. And here's what it's going to do for you. See, now I transition right into that. I didn't focus on my struggle. I didn't focus on how shitty I'm doing or shitty I'm feeling. I just focused on what I'm going to do for the customer. And that's how I would go. That's how I've been doing videos for over 10 years. It's never been
The
about
transformation.
It's never been about what Dave has, what Dave's done, what Dave hasn't done. It's never been about Dave. It's all about focusing on what I'm going to do in the future, what I am doing, right? What this is going to do for the for the person that's watching. But again, this is all coming from how I speak when the camera is not on. That's what matters. I can't instantly turn on the camera and expect to be full of ideas and confidence. I have to do this research like what you're talking about so I can get prepared about a topic. The worst thing that some of y'all do, y'all say, well, I can't find any affiliate products. They won't accept me as an affiliate. Well, go buy the product and go through it. You don't understand what I'm saying? If there's a $37 product that you want to promote, go buy it and go through it and get educated about it a little bit, and then throw a couple of things in Chat GPT or answer the public, and instantly you have all the talking points and probably more confidence than you would have thought that you would have had just from. That's what an entrepreneur does. An employee stands at the door, right, Anna, and says, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. But an entrepreneur says, hey, it's a $37 product that I want to promote. I don't know anything about it. Okay, let me go buy it. and I'll go through it. So you said that when people start saying da 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 da, I can't find any ideas, you go crazy too. What's your response? What are you typically hearing from people about the excuses that they're making or why they can't? We're not here to put anybody down. We're just here to shine light on some of our limiting beliefs.
Uh, Talking about limiting beliefs, yeah, as I mentioned, this is something that triggers me a lot, and I'm trying to actually find my way to handle this with customers in a normal conversation because I used to recently I started getting really like angry when I start hearing this because more and more people reach out with the tons of new excuses like content ideas or to promote or the products to choose from, and also a lot of people expect you say like go buy a product. Well, yeah, well, you know what, people normally come to you and they say like, but I don't want to invest any money. If it's a challenge or not challenge, but I don't want to invest any money. Like, how can I don't have a product. And I'm like, okay, well, you could just go ahead and buy a Sephora lipstick if you want to be in the beauty niche, and it costs $3. So she's like, I don't feel like investing before I make money, you know. So but
That's
so yeah,
called a
and
job. That's a job. That's what you do at a
exactly.
job.
And
That's
that's what I actually had to tell them too. And I just said like, well, in you have two options. You can either do this or you can just stick with your job. That's okay. That's your choice. And they're like, well, okay, tell me more. Well, somehow.
right. What we're trying to do, which is difficult, is we're trying to train and educate a whole kind of a whole world of people really on something that's very foreign to them. You know, I mean, this information was not really available to people for a very long time. It's why people are so stuck in their thinking right now. And that's a great that I've heard that for over 10 years. I don't want to invest any money before I make any money. Well, go get a job. I mean, go get a job and stop
That,
wasting your time. It's like human beings think that we have unlimited time. I mean, really, folks, if you found yourself on this live today and your line in the sand is that I don't want to spend any money until I make money, just quit. I, that is crazy for me to say, but it's like just don't even bother because I know that's a deflating moment. Dave Sharpe just said quit. Wow. Wow. Right. Wow. Took the air right out of a bunch of people's sails. No, it's called Welcome to the School of Hard Knocks. This is called the School of Hard Knocks. I don't know what a professor say. How do they coddle you into I don't know those skills. I just know direct truth. Direct truth. If you're stuck on I don't want to spend any money until I make money, you're looking for a job. You fumbled into the wrong place. You stumbled and fumbled into the wrong place. That's okay. You can sit here and listen, but don't pain yourself anymore because it's only going to cause you problems to be so stuck in more misery to be so stuck on I'm not going to spend any money before I make money. It's a very, very that's called you're stuck. That's as simple as that. You're stuck. Okay. And you know what? We've got enough videos. And when you're stuck like that, the thing that you need to do if you're finding yourself stuck, you need to listen to other people's stories more. Go to Wake Up Legendary and come and hit us back. But right now, if that's your mentality, you got to break through that. You got to break through that in order to have success because entrepreneurship is about delayed gratification, not instant gratification, delayed gratification. And so, what are some of the other excuses that you hear out there on the internet that you hear out there from people? And not because we want to bash them, but just because we want to bring awareness to them.
Basically, it's also only one more. In my experience, it's also people being afraid that it's a scam. So basically, there's a lot of scam on the internet, and there's like, well, I don't know if this is legit, but the thing is that people don't also realize, and I keep telling them, okay, Well, you don't know if this is legit, and all you really need to do is just like take now 10 minutes of your lovely time and go open this Google and Google the legitimacy of some certain brand, company, or a product. That's it. Because they're asking me, I don't know, like, I keep hearing this question. I don't know if Dave is actually legit. And I'm like, okay, well, 5 minutes of your time, go Google the legitimacy of this name, what it means, how long is in the business, and blah, blah, blah. That's it. And you know what? Yeah, they do that, and they are a lot more, okay, I'm sorry, like, I'm interested in this.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
it really takes 10 minutes to figure out if it's a
Not
scam or
even.
no. I've
Not
had
even.
brands like this. Yeah.
Yeah, not even. I mean, what even is a scam? I don't even know. I guess nowadays it's just so easy to throw that word around. That's the society that we live in. It's kind of a sad society, that we just, throw things, labels on things. But I guess we do that quite a bit in our society. We throw labels on people and things. It's unfortunate. But yeah, it's interesting, man. You're right. People will say something without doing any work. They'll just keep coming back to TikTok, keep seeing the same thing over and over again, keep having the same thought. Maybe that's a scam. Probably won't work for me. Good for them. Blah blah blah. And unfortunately, it's only them that is boxing themselves in. And we know what that's like, right, Anna? Because you lived in somewhat of a box for a long time, working a job until you got sick of it and looked for a way out and found one, right? I mean, you also know what it's like to be stuck right there, so you can empathize with these people a little bit. But at a certain point, you cut them off and say, "Hey, look, this is how it is, because I'm doing it," right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So what else is driving you? What else is your motivation behind doing this besides not wanting to go back to the 9 to 5?
Right now, it's basically creating the life that my family wanted. What created the life like that for them. Retiring my mom, making my sister happy. So basically, my focus on that. It's not even about making money anymore, since like at some point I reached a certain level. I'm okay. I make enough money. So the higher purpose became creating the life of the dreams that my family was always craving for.
Yeah, and it sounded like you've already made a major move from one country to another, and it's like during the pandemic you did that. You mentioned that, and I can
Actually, two
imagine
countries for me.
two big moves. Wow.
Yeah.
And do you have your parents with you, or are they back home?
No, my parents, well, I left my motherland when I was 17, so my whole family was left behind in Ukraine, and they're still there. I'm
Yeah.
just moving somewhere constantly, but they're
Wow.
still there, yeah.
Wow. Wow, they're in Ukraine right now.
Yeah, in Kiev.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Uh,
goodness. Wow, no wonder you wanna take care of them.
yes,
They need
yes.
taken care of. They
They
need
do.
Well, that's a great motivation, and, I've been able to accomplish some of that stuff, and there's no better feeling, there's really not.
Yeah,
There's not. There's no better feeling than to be able to do for somebody else, man. And my wife and I get that opportunity quite a bit. We get that quite often to be able to do for people, something nice, help out in some way. It's the best is when they're not asking for it. You know what I mean? Like the best is when they're not asking for it. What are you gonna say?
exactly.
What are you gonna say?
Exactly. Oh no, I just agree. I signed in under each word.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, the best is when they're not asking for it and you can literally surprise them. I mean, when you get money and you start to be successful, you have to learn how to have boundaries because, it's very easy if you're a pushover that people will start asking you for stuff and you'll start giving it to them. So having boundaries is saying no, no, like I can't do that right now. But when you decide that you want to do something nice for somebody, it feels so good, like to see the reaction on somebody's face, somebody who could never do something like that, like buy themselves a house, a car. Even I'll never forget, there was two brothers that came through and then shared this story that they went out and bought their parents dinner for the very first time. And that really struck me as powerful and so kind, that he was so excited about being able to do that for his parents for the very first time, just pay for dinner, like so sweet, so powerful. something so simple. It doesn't have to be big cars, houses. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be some big monumental expensive thing. Most of the time, and I'll tell you what, for those of you who have critics as friends and family, for real, like 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 take them out to dinner, get them something. Seriously, be the bigger person. You know what I mean? Like if you have critics in your life, your friends, family, even a spouse, something like that, like do something nice for them. Take them out to dinner with the money that you made in your business and say, joke around with them a little bit. Say, well, this is from my online business, and be the bigger person. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to become the hero in your life. You're going to become the hero in your life. You're going to be, a lot of you don't realize this yet, but you're going to go from whoever, maybe you've always been the hero in your family, but as you become a successful entrepreneur, you'll become the hero in your family. You'll become the person that people will look to, go to, think about, talk about, be proud of. It's a powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing.
It is.
What comes up for you as I say
It
that?
is. Yeah, basically that's the best motivation ever when you do that, and that power, that's an endless, yeah, it's like an energy source of some way, an endless energy source for you. And that feeling is endless once you start and you keep going and you see results and the ball keeps rolling. It's just, yeah,
And if
magic.
you do like me, you can maybe capture a few of those moments here or there, on film.
Maybe a little bit, but yes, I'm joking, yes.
And then you can use those moments, as ways to inspire people. And many of you are not being creative enough when you think about how can you talk about your success. Well, you don't always have to show a screenshot. You don't always have to, talk about how much specific dollars and cents you made. The more powerful stories are the ones where you strike and hit somebody's heart, like what I'm talking about right now, right? Like you save the receipt. You save the receipt from taking somebody out to dinner, your parents out to dinner, friend or family, and you snap a picture of that, but then you make a video and you have the receipt in your hand and you say, this was the first time I was ever able to buy somebody dinner with money that I made from my business. And I'm going to tell you, there was no better
Yes.
feeling than that. That's the most powerful video that you'll make, right? Way more powerful than because you're telling a story and you're allowing people to that's a feel good thing. There's one way, if you're in the make money online niche, that you can throw your success in people's face that may make them feel, like you're being cocky. But if you mix that in with these nice reminders, these service-based acts where you're doing something for somebody else, because everybody wants to do something nice for somebody that they love. And if you show how you're doing that, you can do that on a small scale. If you think about it, Anna, this is how Mr. Beast built the most popular YouTube channel in the world. You've heard of him, right?
No.
Mr. Beast has the most popular YouTube channel in the world. He's got,
Oh, of course. Yes, of course. Yeah.
in the way, if you go and watch his videos, the number one theme of all of his videos, people, is giving something away. He's giving something away. Why do you think that content goes so viral? Why do you think people like that so much? Why do you think,
Well,
Anna?
because it's like it's connected to also to giving value before expecting something from people. You give something to people and people receive it and just they are ultimately more interested or they, you know, you get something before. So yeah, that's how it works. It's kind of connected to the lead magnet as well.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
when somebody's able to watch you give something away, they can also put themselves in your shoes. They're saying, "Oh, I'd really like to either be on the receiving end or the giving end of that." We live vicariously through people when they're giving things away. It's really easy to watch. It's a feel good thing. There's no way you can feel negativity when you're watching that, because it's all about, you both admire the person who's giving it, but you also admire and you feel deep feelings for the person who's receiving. You're pulling on heartstrings, as Rosanna says. And so some of you, in order to show off your success, much like I do in some of my videos, could be much more creative in finding ways in which you're doing small things for others and then talking about that. And it will likely come across much more, it'll be easier for you to talk about that because it will not feel like you're bragging or showing off. And a lot of people do have a problem with that. They're like, oh, I don't want to be braggy. But I'm telling you, there's ways that you can be creative to show off your success and to communicate more powerfully to people. And those are some of those ideas. Those are some of those ideas. There's all kinds of different ways to be influential, and there's all kinds of different ways to say what you want to say without actually saying it. You don't always have to come right out and say, okay, having a job sucks, and you all are dumb people for having jobs. Like that's the implied kind of thought, is having a job sucks. Why do you still have a job? Right? It's kind of like that's what we're saying, but we're not saying that. We're educating people through, because it takes time. That's one of the biggest things. It's easy to get frustrated at the marketplace, but the truth is that you know we've got a entire society that's been brainwashed into thinking a certain way, thinking that anything outside of the box is a scam, thinking that anything, and think about a lot of these people who were once society always calls things scams and calls people weird before they accept them and celebrate them. You look back in history, you can see a lot of how people, I mean, look at how some certain groups of people, races of people, types of people have been cast away or treated as less than over time, when only to realize that those people are amazing. They're awesome. They're unique, right? So people always get cast away and called things before. So if you have something like we have, if you have a solution, doesn't matter if it's what we have, if you have a solution, your job is to, over time, and this is your marketing duty, this is how you'll be successful at marketing. Over time, you're educating people on this, and you do it through various different methods. You do it through education, and you hit the logical part of the brain. You do it through, this is what this can do for you, and let me show you what it's done for me. Show somebody giving away a car, buying somebody dinner, that pulls on the heartstrings, the other side of the brain, right? So all these pieces are important in order to ultimately persuade somebody 100% to dive in. And that's what we're doing here. That's what many of you are doing in your marketing already. But it's good to know kind of what you're doing and remind yourself. It's important to have patience in this. It's important to not get frustrated with people, and over time educate them, but also throw a little heartstring pulling stuff in there. That's what we talk about when we say tell your story. Let them get to know you a little bit more. If you look at all my sales videos, going back to the 15-day challenge sales video that's 20 something minutes long, I educate, but I also do these things that I'm talking about. Show giving my dad a truck. Show, right? I'm showing people in a matter of over a few minutes both some education, but also what this can do for them, pulling on those heartstrings and letting them see, oh wow, there's more to this than just a little bit of information and making a quick buck. This can truly transform and change somebody's life and affect their family members. This can get, and then they start to, because who doesn't want to do something nice for their parents? Then they start putting themselves in my shoes and seeing themselves doing that as well. And so these are the variety of ways in which we can move somebody who's stubborn, who's skeptical, who thinks that it's a scam, who thinks that it won't work for them. And you move them either over one sitting, maybe during a video or a live, or over several videos. You move them closer to that place of saying, maybe I'm not right. Maybe my way isn't the only way, and they start to open up to that. That's called their buyer defenses are going down, right? So anyways, I'm ranting here about the psychology of marketing, but I'm obsessed with it, and it's made me a wealthy man, and it's changed my life, right? And now it's doing the same for you, right, Anna? And it's exciting to just mastermind about this. I could do this all day long, just talking about marketing, talking about how I operate, why I do the things that I do, and then talking to other students here about how and you're just a baby at the beginning of your journey, 2 years in. When you're 10 years into this, can you imagine what your life is going to be like? Multiply
That
this
gives me
by a
goosebumps.
hundred, multiply this by 100, and try to comprehend that. It's unbelievable. If you would have
I
told me
know.
when I was 2 years in that I'd be making what I'm making now, doing what I'm doing now, a success, I would have tried to fight you. I'd have said, you are nuts. Because we can't even grasp what's possible when we develop and curate these skills that I'm talking about. We develop these skills over time. They get better. We get better at them. And it's truly transformational. All right, what would you like to leave the audience with this morning that's on your head or heart that would be a nice way to close us out today? Give a message to these folks who have maybe come into this today with, some skepticism, or are sitting on the fence, or are, back where you were 2 years ago, where you were kind of like, oh, can I do this?
I'd say that, we've been given a huge gift to live in the times that we're living right now, and this opportunity to learn endlessly is just right there. So just, I don't know, I would just want to shake all the people and say, like, use all of this. Just take that tiny, tiny, tiny action, and then just never stop. And then there is just no way your life is not going to change 180%. And then you just keep doing your thing. Find what makes you happy. And that's it. Repeat endlessly. This is the formula. That's it. And the very first thingy that is important is actually taking that action, as cheesy as it sounds, but yes. And then discipline. That's it. And action plus discipline, that's it.
Yeah, action and discipline. You're right. You're right. And it's hard to be disciplined sometimes as an adult. I can tell you that, but it's the most profitable thing you'll ever do.
Yes.
It's been wonderful. Thank you for letting me talk so much this morning. I was getting fired up here on this Tuesday morning, and, just ranting and rolling. So thanks for teeing me up. It looks like it's gotten dark there. Is the sun going down?
Yes. It's already the evening.
Oh my
You
goodness. All
noticed.
right. Well, go enjoy dinner or your evening. And Anna, thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful talking to you, and come back and see me again, even though this was only your first time. Oh my gosh, come back and see me again. Okay.
Deal. Thank you. It was my pleasure.
All right. We'll talk to you later. All right, my friends, go follow Anna at digital.factor.media. Okay, she's over on Instagram, and my Lord, what can you learn from Anna? Well, first of all, you can learn that anything is possible, and that you have the capabilities to go and do your own research. You know more than you're giving yourself credit for. And if you get some WD up in that brain and get that baby thinking and get that baby loosened up, then you, my friend, can achieve anything that you want to achieve. It's got to be a partnership between this education, our community, and you. You do have to participate in this. That's the big message this morning. That's the message from Anna. That's the message from me. You have to participate in your success. So as she said, take action. Develop your discipline. Get disciplined, but also develop your discipline. You'll get more disciplined over time as you commit to a routine, and then just commit to that routine. That's how you become disciplined. It's not a secret, right? Just commit to it. It's kind of like this, or schedule your discipline. I've got discipline scheduled in every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's called Wake Up Legendary. It's a routine that's scheduled in. I have to be disciplined about it because it's scheduled in. I've scheduled my success, right? So that's kind of a shortcut. I want to simplify this stuff. I want to make this practical. I don't want this to be some far away concept. Discipline is you can schedule your discipline if you need to, and your mind will follow. Act yourself into a new way of thinking. That's what they told me when I was getting clean 14 years ago. And that's what I'm telling you now as you're trying to clean yourself of thoughts that keep you poor. You know, you gotta rid yourself of those thoughts. And what she left us with, taking action and being disciplined, is spot on. Be legendary, my friends. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Finish that challenge. Go through those blueprints, my friend. Take action and develop that discipline.